working with your IT team and your professionals, your legal and your MSP group to understand that breadth or that universe of threats is extremely critical in today's world.
BusinessJournalDaily.com 3 Minutes With is brought to you by Farmers National Bank.
The following is an excerpt from the Business Journal's Cybersecurity Summit webinar. The summit tackled topics such as ransomware, system hacks, malware, data theft, insurance protection, and how businesses can prepare for a worst-case scenario.
How do you help businesses assess their level of risk? Which businesses are at a higher level? How's that process work?
So it's a great question, and what I'll say to kind of lead into it is we've heard a lot of conversation about recovery and backups. Recovering from a breach doesn't cure the breach; it just gets you your data back, right? You still suffered a breach, and so Stephen and Craig need to get involved to some extent because you've still lost data. Well, that is, a business owner makes a decision to back up their data and says, "I'm good with a breach." They've exposed themselves to this other risk. So what we do is talk to business owners about what's valuable to them. Why are they in business? How much pain can they suffer? It can be as easy as a conversation about, hey, the average breach is, X, 100 grand to recover. Pick it. I think Robert and Ralph could probably give you a better number than I could. If you got 25 grand in the bank and poor insurance, you're out of business. And so you can start to frame risk in terms of, why are you here? What is it that if you lose it puts you at risk? What makes your business stop becoming a going concern? And then what threats do we need to kind of start to address to make sure that those things don't occur? So this risk assessment process looks at all of the things that Ralph and Robert and Craig and Mercy have talked about and prioritizes a business owner's ability to approach this in a way that's feasible and effective and efficient for them to do. Now, mind you, we're a NIST-based shop. We're going to install a NIST-based framework. We're going to point you to the NIST-based framework. It is a public framework so that the client knows exactly what they're getting. But the risk assessment kind of helps you prioritize how you want to implement that and over what period of time. A lot of times folks want to do a lot and maybe they don't need it. A lot of times folks don't think they need anything, and we identify major risks that they need to spend more money on. And then we point them to folks like Robert and Ralph to kind of get corrections. Yes, data has certain value based on whether it's internal data, external data, customer data, consumer data. Commercial business data is not protected the same as individual privacy data, and it's different in California than Ohio. But what if that ransomware breach stole your intellectual property? That's not individual data. What if that ransomware that came into email and your initial gut response is, hey, I'm in Office 365 in the cloud. You can hit me. I can recover it. But what you don't realize is that your network hasn't been segmented and now your manufacturing line is stopped. Right. And those are places where you can turn into a direct loss of revenue or a direct loss of business function, and it didn't have anything to do with a social security number. So breaches are broad, and the threats that come into organizations are wide and numerous. And the idea to be able to sit down and implement a framework lets people know what they don't know. It gives them a box in which they know they can operate in. It allows them to kind of prioritize how they need to spend their money and what they need to spend it on. And it allows the owner or the executive team of the target entity to actually express and explain what it is that they're concerned about. It opens up that Q&A for the professional to interject what they may be missing or what they don't know is going on, in the environment. So these types of engagements where you're sitting down and talking about cyber ought to be a core component of a business's risk strategy that they address at least on an annual basis. You have to. I tell my clients every day, and I understand that some people may argue with this, but I don't know of another significant business risk that will put you out of business in about 15 seconds from now that you didn't have 15 seconds ago. Click on an email and rapidly expand ransomware across your network, and you could be done. It's that important and that significant. And so working with your IT team and your professionals, your legal and your MSP group, to understand that breadth or that universe of threats is extremely critical in today's world.
Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that little bell for notifications. And also make sure to connect with us on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. For all of your business news, visit BusinessJournalDaily.com. For all of your arts and entertainment news, go to AfterHoursYoungstown.com.
BusinessJournalDaily.com. 3 Minutes With is brought to you by Farmers National Bank.
I like a bank that's a pillar in my community.
I like a bank so cutting edge, they have a lab branch.
We are so alike.
Well, we do both bank at Farmers National Bank.
Farmers.
Stand strong.